We heard from Executive Vice President Katie Blackburn of the Cincinnati Bengals back at owners' meetings, drawing a line in the sand between the organization and their star pass rusher. Quote, I think he should be happy at certain rates that maybe he doesn't think he'd be happy at. Doesn't sound like the sides are close at all on that one. All right, let's get into some of our top stories across the league, starting with another player waiting on a new contract. Jeremy, what more can you tell us about where things stand between the Commanders and Terry McLaurin?
Well, Terry McLaurin, Courtney, remains frustrated. They have not had meaningful conversations on a deal in a while. I checked with Washington. They have no plans to trade Terry McLaurin. They do want him there long term. The question is, are they willing to meet this market that's gotten crazy where players are making $30+ million a year at the receiver position? My sense is they're just not even close to that there, and McLaurin senses that, which is why he's speaking out publicly. So they have a big gap they got to try to fill here. But it looks like he's going to be a Commander regardless. They got to try to shake this out here soon. And you got Rashee Rice. So now that his legal problems are past, the suspension does loom. The Chiefs are bracing for that. Should be multiple games, depending on who you talk to with the Chiefs. I think it could be 3 or 5. You know, they're trying to figure that out. The clarity, though, will come from the league. I don't think there's an imminent decision yet. But meanwhile, he's been trending really well off of that knee injury he had last year. He's been moving well. He's getting his strength back. So he should be a participant in training camp at some point. They're really excited to get all 3 of their receivers healthy on the field at the same time, but they might have to wait for that.
RC, how big of a hit do you expect the Chiefs offense to take if Rashee Rice does have to miss some time this season?
Well, he is going to miss some time, but I don't necessarily think it's a huge hit. We've seen this team play an entire season without Rashee Rice when they weren't expecting to lose him. And we watched a guy like Xavier Worthy become a huge impact player, and they found a way to utilize him in a way that wasn't just about going to deep ball, but implementing him in the offense and catching runs and opportunities in one-on-one matchups. And we saw him play like a first rounder. And so it's going to be about who they become once they get Rashee Rice back. Once you can implement him in the same way we saw him during their Super Bowl run. And so I love the fact that they played without him last year. They understand they won't have him early on in the season, but throughout training camp, they could be working on ways they'll implement him once he returns, and that's going to be big for Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense.
It'll be big for Patrick Mahomes, but it won't be as big as I think we're all saying. Why? This Kansas City Chiefs offense doesn't really revolve around 1, 2, or 3 star receivers. It's really a receiver by committee approach. And so whether it's Rashee Rice being available or unavailable, Hollywood Brown being available or unavailable, all of a sudden this team is still going 15-2 no matter who's on the field. It revolves around Travis Kelce, it revolves around Patrick Mahomes, it revolves around that defense, and then when they need to, the running game. And so no matter how long Rashee Rice is out, this team is still going to be who they are, who they were, which is a team that still finds success no matter who lines up at wide receiver.
All right, so ESPN Analytics predicting the Chiefs are going to go 4-2 over their first 6 games of the season. They've got the Chargers, the Philadelphia Eagles, Baltimore, and Detroit, all coming to Arrowhead. Common theme there, all playoff teams from a year ago. Live, Adam Schefter with this. The 49ers have placed wide receivers Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall on the physically unable to perform list. Ayuk tore his ACL and his MCL in Week 7 last season. Pearsall was dealing with a hamstring injury during spring workouts. Tons of news this week means one thing: training camp is near. So we're going to get you caught up on anything you may have missed, starting in Minnesota, where wide receiver Justin Jefferson had this to say about his quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
I think now he's just, becoming more confident, more settled in, I would like to say, as his teammate and, just as a captain of the team, just trying to, just make him dialed in every chance that I can. And our lockers are right next to each other. So every chance that I get to talk to him about, football, about anything that goes outside of football, just try to get to know him as much as I can, because, when the season comes and whenever we're locked in, I want him to be just as confident as I am of him to make the plays out there.
Some big bro, low bro relationship coming into form there in Minnesota. After, what do you hear from number 18?
I hear leadership. I mean, that's what you want if you're a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, you don't want all that pressure on you. You want a person who believes you, and not just any person. This is one of the, if not the best wide receiver in the entire NFL. And oh, by the way, this is going to be the guy who's going to help you bring the success to your team that you want. So if I'm Justin Jefferson, of course you're saying the right things, but he's also following the actual example. He's not just talking about it, he's living it. So it's like, hey man, if I'm double covered, triple covered, give me the rock and I will help make you right. I love what I hear from Justin Jefferson.
Jets, one of the best in the NFL, averaging nearly 97 receiving yards per game in his career, which is the best in NFL history among those to play 50 games. J.J. McCarthy walking into a very good situation in Minnesota. In case you missed it, some positive news coming out of Indianapolis with an injury update on quarterback Anthony Richardson's shoulder. Our Colts reporter, Stephen Holder, reporting that Richardson is, quote, believed to have recovered from his recent right shoulder setback as the team prepares to report to training camp next week. Important to note here, the Colts have not had a chance to personally evaluate Richardson, according to Holder, because players have been on their summer breaks. That will happen when Richardson returns to Indy for camp. Jeremy Fowler, what are the Colts' plans when Richardson returns to Indianapolis?
According to the Colts, have a plan. My sense is that plan involves resting him a little bit during that first week. He'll still throw, but be limited, and then he'll be full go after that, ready for that quarterback competition with Daniel Jones. I'm hearing that Richardson has looked good throughout the summer. He's throwing with authority, so there are no issues there. The Colts just want to make sure that they're cautious with him, at least early on.
In case you missed it, the last installment of Jeremy Fowler's position rankings was published yesterday, a series of execs, coaches, scouts, which ranked the top 10 cornerbacks entering 2025. Pat Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year, sits at number 1 for a second straight season, but new to the top is Derek Stingley Jr., who was 10th in 2024. Denzel Ward, who was second last year, moves back one spot to number 3. And new to the list, Quinyon Mitchell, who was a part of the Eagles' Super Bowl 59 win as a rookie. He checks in here at number 9. RC, taking a look at this list, what stands out the most?
Well, I mean, the first thing is I do think Devin Witherspoon should be higher, but it's no Jalen Ramsey, like not nowhere at all. This is a guy who has been at the top of these lists for so many years in his career. He didn't have the best of times in Miami, and so now becoming a Pittsburgh Steelers, what does that mean for Jalen Ramsey? Can he still be that number 1? Will he be big in the slot, or could there be a move to the safety position as he could be utilized as this chess piece all over that defense from Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm interested in seeing where he fits or how he plays this year, and could we see his name back on this list next summer?
All right, still ahead here on NFL Live after losing both coordinator.
Các bạn cũng sẽ đánh dấu nó ở phần giữa cho mình. Bây giờ các bạn sẽ gấp cái phần đầu bên dưới này của nó vào cái phần ở giữa mà mình đánh dấu đây. Rồi mình sẽ gấp vào xem. Sau khi gấp xong mình sẽ gập nó ra phần đằng sau.